Good afternoon, everyone. I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm going to actually record my updates and send the video link out for all to see. So I hope this works and runs smoothly, and we're going to start and jump right into it. You'll also receive a copy of the agenda that I'm following now, what I'm speaking to. So if you have any questions, you can refer back to the agenda. You can also speak with your instructional coach. You can also come and talk to me or Mr. Dixon as well. All right, so the first is content mastery. That's math, ELA, science, and social studies. And with our testing, we've completed 97% of our initial testing for the year. All of our universal screeners. So thank you, Ms. Jones, for leading that effort for everyone. Yay, I really appreciate that. It was a great job. It's 97% tested, and she has a plan on making sure that we are up to 100% tested so that we can have them all placed in their correct groups. That's between MAP and Ames Web and the oral reading fluency. So and she's also over RTI and SST. She's currently in the process of creating folders and actually intervention folders for all of our students. So thank you again, Ms. Jones. And that brings me to our intervention team. We had a meeting this afternoon, or actually this morning, where we discussed with our specials team. And I want to give a huge shout out to our specials teams and enrichment team, who will also be acting as our intervention team. They will be looking and working with our students and doing those tier 2 interventions during the specials block at the beginning. And when I brought it up to them, at first we said 3 days a week, and they said, no, let's do it 5. That's how on board they are with instruction and making sure that our kiddos at Slater have the best advantage and get to take advantage of all of the expertise within this building. So Ms. Jones, again, will be developing all of the folders for the specials teachers and assigning all of the interventions so that they will know exactly what to do and how to implement, and they will take the data and input the data in Infinite Campus, and then we'll be able to actually use that data to make further decisions or instructional decisions for our students. You will also be able to see what interventions those teachers are working on. So I just want to thank Ms. Jones for undertaking this large effort for us. Tier 2 instruction is extremely important, and I think the homeroom teachers are doing a great job with Tier 1, and the coaches and helping everyone make sure they have that strong Tier 1 instruction. And now we're adding on Layer 2, which is our Tier 2 instruction. And that takes me into the schedules. And so we're going to get up and kind of follow me along to the schedule board. Okay, so I have shared with the upper grades this schedule board. It's going to be displayed in the principal's conference room, so if you ever want to just come and see it, you're available to. I'll just explain it briefly here. On this side, you have the segments. Segment 1 is typically homeroom, and then we go to the end of the day, segment 11, and then it mirrors what's in the actual chart from K through enrichment. And then right here are those segments that I mentioned before. So if you look closely, you can kind of see exactly where everybody is doing at the time, their time during the day. So we have our major reading programs and literacy programs in the lower grades with Math Scholar, and then we have Wit and Wisdom, and then we have that reading in small group where we'll infuse science and social studies into those times, and then we have Eureka Math, and then of course enrichment. And then it gets a little bit different for the upper grades. Third grade has 2-man teams. So we have 2 teachers that are teaching math and science, and then the other is teaching ELA and social studies. And they have 2 teams of that. So they have one session is where they'll go and teach ELA and social studies, and then the next section they'll teach math and science. And then we have 4th and 5th grade that are on block schedules where they have like period 1 or block 1, 2, 3, and 4, where they're all teaching their individual content. And then of course we have enrichment and what they'll be doing in the grade levels they'll be serving. Again, this will be up in my office. If you want to just come see the rawness of me just putting it up on the board, or then we'll also be sending it out via email, and it will look a little bit better than just my handwriting. All right, so we'll go back. Okay, so using those schedules, we, Ms. Jones and I worked tirelessly to make sure that we have a schedule for our special education teachers and paraprofessionals to make sure that we're maximizing their time and making sure that you all are receiving their support that you all need so that we can in turn all give the support to our students and what they would need to be successful. So that schedule, I've met with 3 through 5 and the effects of the special education schedule that we'll have on their schedule, and then also K through 2, you'll get a copy of that, and when that support will be coming to your classroom. So we basically have co-teaching scheduled for all of our children that receive co-teaching for reading and mathematics, and then supportive instruction with a special education para coming to your room for 30 minutes for social studies and science. So that schedule will be rolled out, and if you have any questions, you can definitely talk to your coaches. You can talk to Mr. Dixon, or you can talk to myself if you have any questions about the schedule. All right, so we currently have 43 students in SWD within the building. That's with students with disabilities, 43. We have 9 students that are receiving ESOL services. Thank you, Ms. Thomas. She's going to be our ESOL teacher, and she's serving as that, as well as our robotics teacher. So I thank you very much for taking that on. And she's developing those TPC plans, or those testing accommodations plans for our ESOL students. And their schedule will also be rolled out as well. So counseling is going well. We have started our our classroom guidance that has started throughout the building. So thank you, Ms. Witcher. And then our career guidance lessons, those will be starting soon as well. That's for our upper grades, 5th grade, that will have the career guidance. And so that also goes into our CCRPI score. So it's important that we are available and amenable to when she's having to come to classrooms to do that guidance. It all goes into our classroom guidance. It all goes into our CCRPI, but it's also what's good for children. You should have gotten your mood meters. I've spoken with Chris 180. They have the mood meters. You'll K through 3, I think K through 2 will have another session. So where she'll explain what the mood meters are and how to implement them. So you have the mood meters, and then also the cool down spaces within your classrooms. We're trying to have any area that sees children have some type of cool down space. Ms. Witcher is looking for different items that can actually go into those spaces, like beanbag chairs or a comfortable seat or comfortable mats that will also have the mood meter, so we can really help our own children regulate their own emotions. And that's the goal. Right now, I know we are doing a lot of conversations and having a lot of those conversations with our students to help regulate themselves and help them calm themselves down or we try to de-escalate situations, and we really want our students to try to take some of that on. I know it's going to take time. I believe everyone is doing a great job at that thus far. I see a lot of conversations going on in the hallway with students, a lot of adults bending down, talking to the students at their level and encouraging them to either calm down or make better choices. So I appreciate that that extra time that's going into that with our students. And so the mood meters and the calm down spaces in the classrooms, and I have one in my office, Mr. Dixon's office. We're going to have these mood spaces all around the building so that we can help our students really regulate themselves. And that's also where we're going into speaking about our, I just lost it. Meditation, thank you. Our meditation moment. So when we have meditation, that's also something that helps us regulate our own emotions with ourselves as adults, and then also with our students. So now we'll go back to the agenda. Our attendance, thank you to the Family Engagement Center. They're really keeping up with our attendance and doing a good job each day. And so we're looking at how our students are attending school, and it's hovering around 98% a day, which is phenomenal, and we want to keep that going. We know it tends to kind of fall off a little bit when closer we get to the holidays, so we really want to try to encourage our students to keep up with that. We also have our innovative practice, which is our math labs and literacy lab. I'm going on to the next part of the agenda. Our math lab and literacy lab are full swing. Thank you to our coordinators, Ms. Henry and Ms. Magnum, for identifying all of the students and presenting those and organizing that for us, and for our lit lab and math lab teams that are actually doing the work and working with our students. I appreciate that. We also have our, going on to the next one, Teacher Mentor. That's one of our programs that you got an email about from Ms. Turner about a teacher mentors. And if you're interested in being a teacher mentor, or if you have already wanted to be a teacher mentee, that information has gone out, so look for that email. And then we also have where we talked about behavior. So there's been quite a lot of talk around behavior and discipline of our students, and I kind of want to just really talk about it head on. I know this is challenging. I know some of our students' behavior is extremely challenging, and I appreciate the talks that some of you all are having with our students and the de-escalation of a lot of situations that are going on around the building. I sincerely appreciate that. The admin team has come up with the teacher guidance manual, so if you could read through that and really try to determine what are in-classroom behaviors that can be handled with the teacher, that many of you are doing a fabulous job of doing already, and then what needs to be escalated to administration. So we've received referrals where students were bouncing the pen on the desk, and although that can be a class disruption, and although that can be really disrupting for a student that's around them, that's not necessarily a referral for that will go on Infinite Campus and go escalate all the way up to Mr. Dixon. That would be something that we call home about. We take the pen away, call home, have a conversation with the parent, and if that doesn't work, then of course get either our coaches involved, administration involved, to ensure that our parents are fully aware of what our expectations are and that you have properly communicated those expectations. So whenever you contact a parent, if you could put that in the Infinite Campus call log, that is very important. That is our first go-to when we have or receive a student that's had some challenges within the classroom that has to be removed. We look in the call log and see how many times have we called this parent. So if that parent has not been called and alerted to that there is an issue, then we have to, and we're the first ones calling them with a challenge or an issue that we have with one of those students. That's a little bit tougher conversation than if we're calling and it's been escalated to administration and we see that 5 and 6 people have called them before. So if you are having challenge with students, I encourage you to please reach out and talk to the parents and make sure that they are aware that at least the challenges are that are being had by the students. Now, if you don't feel comfortable speaking with a parent, or you have engaged with a parent that has turned into a very difficult conversation, or has become in a type of disrespectful type conversation, by all means, please feel free to contact me, and we will contact that parent together. And you should not feel at any point threatened or scared or feel like you're going to get disrespected by a parent. That's not the conversations that we want to encourage. So if you feel as if that's going to happen when you call a parent, please engage me or myself or Mr. Dixon in that conversation so that we can help navigate that conversation, because the conversation still has to be had. It may need to be with one of us involved. So we're definitely here to assist in that manner as far as with student discipline. All right, so our special ed schedule, I know I mentioned before that it will begin, it has been altered slightly, so you will receive that, and that will begin on Monday. Parking. Thank you for, I don't know what everyone is doing regarding parking, but I appreciate the people who are now parking on the grass down here and parking in the upper lot near Carver. If anyone is still having to park in that far lot that's 0.3 miles away from the school, please shoot me an email and let me know who you are so we can try to find additional parking if we need to. But right now it seems as if parking has kind of settled with the additional parking spots on the grass down here. And then also arrival and dismissal. We have people on site for arrival and people on site for dismissal. So the arrival people, there's some faculty that arrive at 7:15 in the morning, and that's why they're able to leave at 3:45. And then we have people that arrive a little bit later, and then they leave at 4:15 or 4:30 to facilitate our dismissal. It has gotten a lot smoother. We have added 2 additional components. We have 2 police officers in the afternoon. One that's becoming the light at the end of the driveway. So instead of our parents following the light, they have to follow the direction of the police officer. And then we have another police officer that makes it easier for Ms. Nolan to capture the names of all of the parents who come for parent pickup. And then in the morning, we have 1 police officer. So those are things that we are expecting to continue throughout the entire school year. And I'm very proud to be working with Purpose Built that saw the need when we were saying it's very difficult for our arrival and dismissal for our parents to safely obtain their children, that they provided this resource for us. So I'm very appreciative to Purpose Built. I believe that is it. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing, recess. I know we've seen several teachers that are pull students away from recess. We really want to refrain from recess. Playworks is a resource that we've contracted to come and run our resource, to have that really structured but free play for our students to engage in. And many of our students need that practice to be able to have those conversations and engage in real play. And that might be the only time they get that day. So we really want to refrain from restricting students from going to recess, but rather have different ways of motivating them to make better choices when bad choices are being made. And one of those ways is to have silent lunch or a different setting or seating at lunch. Or different ways that we can just talk to them. So I want to brainstorm with the faculty and with your grade levels of different ways that we can encourage students to really be reflective on their behavior in other ways other than denying recess for our students. And that leads me into my final point of dojos. This has been a really big push for dojos and using dojo points to motivate our students. Again, we have given out all of the dojo charts to all of the homeroom teachers. So when a student reaches that 10 threshold, they should be able to choose something from the 10 column as their prize. And they keep those 10 points and keep going to 20. And once they reach to 20, they get to choose something from the 20 slide, and so forth and so on. And then they get reset every single week. One moment. And they get reset every single week. So we really want to encourage our students to get those dojo points. One moment, let me call you right back. So we really want, I know we're going to have to keep that. That was Mr. Dixon calling me. But so we really want to encourage our students to really strive to get that 100 points on the dojo chart. So that means we have to give them. So that means everybody in the building, we have to give these dojo points in order to keep our kids encouraged. So we give them from the admin, from the coaches, from everybody, adult in the building, being able to give dojo points to the teachers, actually rewarding them. So if you could just pick a time in the day, it could be the morning meeting, it could be the afternoon meeting for the next day, but making sure that the kids who reach those 10 points are able to choose from the chart which prize they would like. So now we are also ordering things that go with the chart. So as far as the gum, you don't have to come out of your own pocket for the gum. We will have gum for you. So if a child chooses gum, we need to just let us know and we'll send gum up there. Or if they choose to wear glasses, we're going to have those crazy glasses. We're going to get those socks as well. So we'll have the prizes that go along with them. But we just need everyone awarding those points and giving to them. So if you see a child doing an exceptional job, you can give them 25 points at one point and just say, this is a great job. I'm giving you 25 points. You're consistently on it, so that they can get up and reach those higher ticket items. They seem very excited about sitting in your chair, sitting in the teacher's chair. They seem very excited about that, and that's something that's free. And they also seem very excited about that positive phone call home from a teacher, or a positive phone call home from the principal or someone in administration. We want to give those prizes. So I look forward to having my first positive phone call home, and I look forward to doing that. And I look forward to my first principal for a day, and that's 100 points. So we're encouraging our students to reach that. Okay, I think that is it, and I think that will conclude our I guess my first broadcast. I want to end with our Hays that we expect all of our students to go by. Number 1 is be positive, where we believe in ourselves and our school. We use kind words, and every day is a new start. And that's something that's just so important, that we really hone in that every day is indeed a new start. The next is be respectful, take pride in our space and materials, treat others how you want to be treated, and be kind with our words and actions. And our lastly is show grit, persevere through obstacles, use mistakes as learning tools, and work hard, and we'll watch great things happen. Thank you so very much for being here at Slater and choosing to come work here. I appreciate all of you. If you have any questions or concern, my door is open. Thank you.